Hi, welcome to Short Run Pro's video series on various manufacturing topics. I'm Arthur Toll, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about material. Material is a very large component of cost in any part that you make, so it's something that we need to consider. I'm just going to talk about some standard materials that we use here at Short Run Pro on a daily basis. So I've got some samples here for you. We've got some steel, some galvanized steel, some stainless steel, and some aluminum here. Now I'm just going to talk about a few characteristics of these, just compare and contrast. There's a lot more properties where these materials and all materials differ, but I'm just going to talk about these basic ones today. The numbers for these, for steel and galvanized steel, it's the same. It's going to be 0.28 pounds per cubic inch. Stainless steel is a little bit heavier, but not a lot. It's just 0.29 pounds per cubic inch. In this case, I'm going to talk about the yield strength, which determines how far a material can bend before it bends permanently. So, for example, if I take this ruler, you can bend it very easily, but it returns to its shape. If I bend it all the way so that it doesn't pop back to a straight plane, then I've exceeded its yield strength. Your main concern is the yield strength, because the amount, it's not very easy to bend that in the first place, so you're not too worried about the ultimate tensile strength. Steel and galvanized steel, again, are the same. They're going to be 30 KSI. Now that's 30,000 pounds per square inch. So as you can see, steel, galvanized steel, about the same strength. Stainless steel is a little bit more, again. This time it's 35, so just a little bit more in most applications. If stainless steel's what you want, but you can get away with maybe a little less, a little worse looks, or a little worse corrosion resistance, steel's still going to be okay for you from a strength standpoint. Aluminum is again much weaker than any of the steels, and it comes in at about 21 KSI. So if it's a structural product that you're working on, aluminum might not be the best option for you, because it is weaker than any of the other materials. You have to take into consideration where the part's being used. If it's, say, a countertop bracket, it's going to be much more visible than if it's some connecting bracket hidden away behind a wall. So you're going to be more concerned with that. Obviously, there's no numerical value for how something looks, and a lot of it is objective. Personally, I like the look of stainless steel better than aluminum. There you can see what stainless steel looks like. It's got a nice smooth finish on this one. I like the way that aluminum looks as well. It's also very bright and shiny, so I'm going to put that at number 2. Galvanized steel, it's still bright, but it's got that spangle. That's called spangle, the flakes that you can see there of zinc material there. Pick what you like as far when you're looking into material looks. Steel, as you can see in our sample here, is not very corrosion resistant at all. Actually, this piece is about a year and a half old, so it's done okay, but you don't want that rust on there, and that will build up over time, especially if you're in any kind of outdoor or especially a marine environment. Galvanizing puts a thin layer of zinc over top of the steel, and that's what all this spangle is, and that protects the steel from corrosion. When the laser cuts this piece, the edges are not protected anymore. So any place where there's a hole or the edges are not going to be protected. It's still going to last a long time, a lot longer than cold rolled steel. But again, it will rust over time. And if you took like a knife or something and just scraped away the galvanized coating, where that's scraped away, it will rust as well. So it is it's not as good at corrosion resistance as these next two. They're both going to be number one for corrosion resistance because they don't corrode. It's not in their material properties to form a rust corrosion. Now, like I said, cost is always a very large consideration for any designer, anybody who's designing a part. And I've actually arranged these in the order of cost. So steel is going to be the least expensive. Yeah. So follow me on this. One is least expensive, and then 4 is going to be most expensive. Galvanized steel, because it is steel, you just add a little bit of extra zinc on top of it, is also going to be very cheap. Just a little bit more expensive than the steel is. Now, stainless steel gets much more expensive than galvanized steel, just because of the extra effort that goes into making stainless steel. So we're actually going to put that at 4. Stainless steel and aluminum have an interesting relationship as far as price goes. Their price per pound is almost always the same. Now it varies on the market, but most of the time the price per pound is the same. However, like I discussed earlier, aluminum is cheaper, or weighs less per volume than stainless steel does. That kind of covers a few of the main considerations that most people have when they're selecting material. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have any questions, and I'm sure someone has a question out there, you can leave your question or your comment in the comments section, or send us an email at sales@shortrunpro.com, or you can visit us on our website at www.shortrunpro.com, and we'll be happy to answer your questions as best we can. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.